started. I'd like to welcome everyone to Laboratory of Redemption. We're at week 37, come a long way. My topic, still steadfast. Continuing throughout this month has been steadfast. I would like to go ahead and explain our mission over here at the 360 Adjuster Academy, which is to provide premier training and mentorship to new and existing independent insurance adjusters so that they can become subject matter experts within the insurance adjuster industry. Our core principles are faith, which is a firm belief in something for which there is no proof; integrity, firm adherence to a code of especially moral or artistic values; resilience, the ability to recover from or adjust easily to misfortune or change, which is thriving in spite of any circumstance; and last but not least, production. Production is the act or process of creating something of value, such as goods, services, and specifically in the insurance adjuster industry, closing a claim. Our business model is come find your vision within our vision. So with that being said, I would like to introduce myself. I am Kayvon Hill. A short history of my experience as an adjuster. I did acquire my license in 2021. I started working in 2022. I basically went through the same process that a few people in here might be going through right now, as far as the waiting game. Having to truly understand the meaning behind patience, and just having complete faith, and waiting until you get that call. I went through the same thing. So just to anyone in here that's growing impatient, trust me, just stay patient. The time will come. You will get that call soon. I went through the same thing, and I know how it feels. I know how it felt for me. It was a long process, but I guarantee you that once I got that call and I started, I never looked back since then. My first deployment was to Minnesota. I did a farm and ranch deployment, which I don't even know if that's what it's technically called. It was a CAT, but most of my claims were farm and ranch. No experience going inspecting 6, 7 structures on the inspection, and me, a young man who doesn't know anything about what I'm doing, I'm going out there. And I'm like, where do I even start? I don't even know what to take pictures of, where to take the pictures. If I should sketch the structures right there on the spot. It was a very trial and a confusing time for me. But one thing that I can say is that I am thankful and I'm grateful that I did go out there. And I started off with a very difficult assignment initially, because it's like from that point on, it's like, what can I do? So just to everyone in here, similar to my story, just be prepared. Just be ready to learn, be a sponge, and just taking everything that you possibly can. So that's a brief explanation of myself. I would like to give some insight on Steadfast as well. Basically, it's similar to what I just stated about patience. It's just being diligent. Being consistent. In this moment right now, we need to be steadfast. With our faith. You know, I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube just for like self improvement, and it just was speaking on the true values of a man, specifically like an alpha male, and a true man, and not just, speaking from my gender specifically, but as far as for everyone, to be uh someone of value. I feel like in times like this where we don't know what to expect, we don't know what's coming, we need to capitalize, and this is the time when we need to be our strongest in the gray areas, where we don't know what's next. This is the time for you to be mentally sharp, for you to be, speaking nothing but positive things, because there is a lot of power in the tongue. So these are the moments where we should thrive the most, in moments of uncertainty and when we don't know what's next. So that's my insight on being steadfast, specifically for right now with our faith. So with that being said, I would like to introduce our panel speakers for today. 360's own Demetrio, Coach K Joy, Major Adams, and Larry. I would like to introduce you all. If you would like to come on camera, turn on your microphones, so we'll go ahead and get this great information that everyone would truly appreciate, I'm sure. Get that started.
What up, everybody? What's that,
Hey,
Janae?
I was gonna say before we go into that, I just wanted to just really briefly go, just say a few things.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, no worries. Okay, so yeah, sorry about that. Happy Sunday, everyone. Thank you so much for rocking with us. Dang, week 37 is kind of crazy. Like we've been doing this for a minute now. I'm really happy that we've been super consistent with everything. I want to say thank you to those that have been consistent, consistently showing up for us. Even the people that are new to the calls. I know that you guys are maybe just trying to gather information, but thank you for coming to, check us out. I want to give a special shout out to our very own Ronnie, who just had a birthday. Happy birthday. Y'all can come off mute really quick and just say happy birthday for her. I would greatly appreciate that. Let's
Happy
just clap it
birthday.
up for her one
Happy
time.
Happy
Happy birthday.
birthday.
Happy
Yes, thank
birthday.
you. Happy birthday, Ronnie.
Happy
Um,
birthday.
Right. So for those that don't know, my name is Janae. I've been adjusting for a little over a year now. Last year was, excuse my language, but it was a hell of a year. I learned a lot. I handled a lot of different claims. Started with interior stuff, as far as like pipe burst and things like that, which can be a little more difficult. And then moving into the wind and hail claims, which seems kind of like a breeze compared to that. Those are pretty much mainly the claims that I was handling last year. I worked for about 10 to 10 and a half months, which looking back on it is like, wow, thank the Lord I was able to work that long. As we know, the last few months have been a test of everyone's patience. I just want to bring the topic back to steadfast really quick because, like Kayvon said, is just having that unwavering faith in yourself, in your abilities, and knowing that the work is going to come. You know what I mean? Knowing that we just have to wait for Mother Nature to do its thing, and we have to just make sure that we're ready as far as that goes. Um, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second, but so sorry. Yeah, so I just want to say, yeah, so last year was a great year. Made a healthy amount of money. And for those that are looking to get in the industry, we all know it's a very lucrative industry. But like we all know, the start is not easy. They throw you into it, whether you are your first deployment, your second deployment. If you have no experience, we know that that first time you're going out, you're going to get about 20 to 30 claims, depending on how busy it is. And they don't give you a life vest. It's either you sink or swim. And
Yes.
with deployments being a little bit slower, when you get that call, you want to make sure that you can maximize your opportunities. Most of the time, new people, they kind of stick around for about 2 to 3 weeks. As we all know, we've all been through it a few times. And then you kind of, naturally get cut. But the point of this community, why we have this, is so that you can last a little bit longer. You can bounce ideas off of us. You can bring some of those questions to us and not have to harass your manager and, let them know that you really don't know what you're doing. So please lean into this community. Please fill out the feedback form. We're looking to add different segments, throughout the weeks, and we would absolutely love to hit those topics that you guys actually want us to hit. Of course, we're going to be creative and come up with a lot of valuable information from week to week, but we want to make sure that we're also servicing you guys, serving you. So please follow us on socials, and let us know, about that feedback form. But moving on, yes, to the guest speakers for this week. We are going to have a panel, like Kayvon let us all know. It's going to be Major, Candace, Demetrio, and Larry. I'm excited to hear from him, who has been rocking with us for a while too. So it's nice to see him up here with us. And our very own Travis is going to go ahead and kind of conduct the interview between them. So, Travis, if you come off of mute and get this thing on the road.
All right, good. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear.
Yes.
This right here is a big deal to me. This panel right here in particular is a big deal because I lost sight of what I was doing when it comes to the 360 Adjuster Academy. While we started this opportunity for individuals as far as this business. I lost sight of it. What I mean by that, I was looking to build a business and doing all this stuff when it's about the people, and the people are important. And what's important about the people is this: they're here for their own special, particular reasons. Major, you got the graphic for me, Major? You got the graphic for me, brother? You know, even the name of this business the name of this community is a big deal to me. The Laboratory of Redemption. There are three kinds of business out there, three kinds of business. There's an exploitative business, ethical business, and a redemptive business. I will, in 2 weeks, go further detail as far as over exploitative, ethical, and also the redemptive. Redemptive business is the opportunity for someone to be able to come back from something, to be able to have something to reach forward. Because I promise you this, thinking about my own life, my own brothers and sisters, I think back to my brother Lance, also and my sister Cheryl. My brother Lance, he was in and out of prison on some dumb stuff. You know, the whole stealing stuff, drugs, just stupid stuff, right? Now, he wasn't a bad guy, or he's not a bad guy, not at all, not at all. However, he didn't have a skill set. We have an opportunity to give individuals a skill set to be able to maximize taking care of people, serving the customer, but also more importantly, creating an above average income for themselves. We have an opportunity to do that. And I lost track and sight of that as far as trying to build a business. So the main thing for me is to get back grounded and get back to what we're here for, to service the people. This is a redemptive business. We have an opportunity to help folks come back from something. Because I promise you, this business was myself. And I promise you this: once you begin sharing with individuals, sharing your thoughts with individuals, be wary. Not everyone's going to jump as you sing a beautiful song to them. They may not dance with you. It's okay. Know in your heart that this is for you. So now, do we have our beautiful panel? I'm excited about this because sometimes it's not as easy to get involved in the insurance adjusting world because something may have happened in the past, whether it be from legal perspective or even mental perspective. Because I had an individual, whenever I started doing the adjustment, I went to the class in person. I was so excited about the opportunity to create above average income. I invited him to come with me. I invited him to come with me. So he came with me. He was excited as well about everything. He was super excited about it. Now, he had some issues from his background. He had some drug charges about 20 years prior. Everything was set and everything was good. Served his debt to society. He was ready to go. But however, he still had that thing in his mind of, man, they're not going to choose me, because he went through so many other opportunities trying to get his license in other fields, but couldn't get it. Right. But the one thing that I did know is that he didn't even extend or try to go through the entire process. He quit just short of getting his license, not because he had to, but because he chose to. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, gang? Does that make sense? Yes or yes? Good deal. I hear y'all saying yes in my mind. So Larry Peterson, excited about him. Demetrio, excited about him. Major, excited about him. Coach K Joy, she is a beautiful specimen of a woman. She is wonderful because her mind, her spirit is so great. Now, are you guys off mute? You guys ready to go? You guys ready to have some fun? You guys ready to have some fun?
Yes, sir.
So it's okay if I ask some very detailed questions. Is it okay? Are you guys willing to share? Or are you guys gonna hold back? What's it gonna be?
Hey, let's go, man.
You sure?
I mean, that's my opinion.
All right, good deal. All right, since you talk first, Demetrio.
Hey, man, hold on now. Wait a minute. No, I'm just kidding.
Demetrio, since you said something, my question for you is this, brother. How long did it take you to get licensed to actually get from point A to point B?
It didn't take me long at all. Once I made the decision to go ahead and get it, I took a 3-day, a weekend course, Friday, Saturday. We tested out Sunday, applied for my license, got the license. A couple of months later, I'm in Florida working. So that process wasn't difficult at all. The course we went through, they pretty much, ensured that you passed. It was a really good course. And like I said, after that, of course, you go get your fingerprints and do all that little process there, and you get on rosters, and And in a month or so, I think, a couple of months maybe. Like I said, we was headed to Florida.
Okay, good deal, man. Good. What were you doing before adjusting?
Before adjusting, right? Even when I was adjusting, I was testing materials for construction. I tested concrete and soils, and stuff like that. For construction. For land foundations and things like that. So, I was doing that, man. I was in the field in the lab tech. For that, I have been doing that for like 5 years, 6 years. So prior to that, it was a good job, decent job, company vehicle, all of that good stuff. But my man kept, hyping me up about this, and he thought I, be pretty good at it. And it was, of course, the money is first and foremost that they put out there. But I just finally was like, okay, man, let me try it. So I went for it, got my license, told my job, what I was doing, just to let them know I wanted to be upfront with it. So fortunately, I was good enough in a good position to let them know, and we worked out something as if I did, they would allow me to go and come back, once it was over, which is what happened. So I went out there for my little month, so 3 weeks or whatever we had out there, and I came back to work. So that was a good, it wasn't too bumpy in that regard.
Okay.
First off.
Good deal. Good deal. Okay. But Larry, you've been with us for about a month, 2 months now? Man, I can't, can we hear you? You saying something?
He on mute still. Can't hear you, Larry.
All right, cool deal. Okay. All right, good deal. We'll come right back to you then, Larry. Larry, one more time before we come back to you. One more time. Okay. All right. Good deal. Okay, good deal. All right. Brother Major, what about yourself? Your licensing process. How long did it take you, and was there anything you had to do in order to get your license?
Yes, so it didn't take too long. Took about, like I said, took that 3-day course like Meech, like in person. It was like pre-licensing course with some Xactimate training. So did that, was 3 days. Got the fingerprints. It was probably another day. And then just like having to wait for him to get back took about a week. And then after that I applied to get my justice license. And then I also I had to send in some extra papers as well.
Well, the extra papers. I'm on your business now. We all on your business. Everybody on
Oh
camera
yeah.
now. We all on your business, baby.
I
So
didn't
because
speak on that too.
right, yeah, so I had a little run in with the law, then had a probation as well. So basically, like the papers I had to provide were just that I completed probation, so my probation termination, receipt of like all court fees paid, and then basically yeah, basically that, just showing that like everything was paid, and then it was over. So yeah, then after that I sent in my application, and then it didn't take too long at all. It took about 2 weeks, I believe, a week and a half, if that.
Okay. Yeah, that's a big deal because I'm not sure if you guys know of anyone who want to extend the opportunity to as far as becoming a justice. They may have something in their background, but the biggest thing is make sure that they have all their documentations together, have everything together. Because what'll happen is they may be ready to go, but they'll have their papers together. They can't come play. Brother Larry, you there? Larry's iPhone. No.
Hey, Travis, let me speak to. I actually, of course, you know the story, but yeah, to speak to that, man, I definitely had to,
Oh, you
do
held
the
back.
same route as Major.
Oh, you held back.
Hold on.
Oh.
Well, I ain't hold back. I just forgot. But it was just getting paperwork. I try to put that out my brain. Anyway. So yeah. So I definitely had to go through that same thing, providing documentation. You have to upload this document even when you're getting your licenses in these other states and whatnot. You have to provide this documentation because they're gonna ask the same questions. Even though you guys just got to do the application, they're gonna go and pull the same things out. So you got to have that stuff readily available, and it's actually a document warehouse on the NIPR that you can upload that stuff, and it's sort of housed in the warehouse. But you know, it's just providing documentation, and like you know what Major and Travis said, you know, just because you have stuff on your background, and I have some stuff on my background, you know, it doesn't mean that it's a no. That you shouldn't pursue it. You just got to provide the proper documentation that it's been taken care of, that there's nothing hanging over your head. It doesn't in no way impact your ability to do your job or anything like that. So, you know, once you get all of that, man, you're good to go. I even had some trouble even after I got my license, but we can talk about that, man. Good.
All right, good deal. All right, Miss K Joy. Now, I know you've been having legal issues in your background. At least that I don't know of. I could be wrong. You know, I could be totally wrong. I mean, you know, she's just smiling over there. You know,
Brazil, baby.
So for yourself, for this business, for the insurance adjusting business, how has this business been redemptive for yourself?
So to clear that up, you're right. I don't have any legal things in the background by any means, but I'm glad that we're talking about it because there's a lot of people that are great people that whatever's happened in the past, you know, it's great to be able to talk through that. So as far as how it's been a redemptive business for me, so I've been in insurance for 18 years. I've done auto and property. As far as redemptive piece, I've done staff and the IA side. And I would say the most redemptive for me, I would say, is seeing the IA side. Although I've worked staff for years, when I joined the IA side, you see it. Even though I run some teams that were IA teams, it's a little different when you're running it all on the client side and the vendor side. So I would say for me, it was really redemptive just getting to meet so many different people on the IA side with so many different backgrounds that bring so many different pieces of the puzzle together in a different way, and being able to help develop people from so many different corners. Not to say you don't run into that on the staff side, but to me on the IA side, there's resources out there, but they're not as easily available for a lot of clients and vendors as they are on the staff side, right? Like on the staff side, you're going to have easy access to training, you know, all these other things. But a lot of times on the IA side, it's up to us to go and find those resources, and we have to invest in ourselves to actually develop. So for me, it's been one of those things of like, I've always had to climb the ladder in anything that I've done. So I've tried to make sure that I could help develop other, you know, independents or staff in a way that I would want to be trained. And then also for whatever their goals were, not necessarily what, you know, I may see for myself.
I have one more question for you before we pass the mic. Question for you. Okay, so individuals who are coming, I'm not sure how this worked for you as far as on the IA independent adjuster side. I'm sure they probably have the license before they get to you, but if they don't and they look into the licenses, whatever, and they have some issues, what advice do you give those individuals? Because what's really cool, before I let you answer the question, we have Josh Jones on. He is actually our attorney. He's actually, you know, he has people that he represents. They're looking to get into the field. What advice do you give those individuals who may have something, but they haven't gone through the process yet?
So there's two things that I'll say to this. I'm going to speak from one side of it. I don't house this all day. So I want to be honest with y'all. We have a licensing team that I lean on their expertise heavily for those kind of things. But I've just tried to tell people, be honest, you know, on those applications. There's so many people I know that have had different backgrounds and different things that have happened in their past, and they assumed that they probably wouldn't be able to get licensed, or they weren't sure about how honest they wanted to be up front because they were worried that it would negate them from being, or give them an opportunity to get, you know, the license. So what I've tried to say is just be 100% honest up front. Some of them have found that they didn't even ask for the kind of documentation they thought they would ask for. Some of the states weren't as hard on them as they thought they were going to be. So I wouldn't get into your mind about the assumptions, right, about the stigma out there sometimes for people with different backgrounds or different run-ins they've had. Just be 100% honest and let that state, each state will tell you exactly what they need. So like you heard Beach and Major say, they uploaded paperwork, they'll tell you specifically what they need, and it'll be specific, right? When you're talking about getting licensed for handling adjusters, they're not going to be vague. So they're going to tell you exactly what they need. If it was something for probation, if it was something for proof of you know, you serving time or whatever it is, there won't be any question around what they're asking for.
Okay, awesome, good deal. Brother Larry, you ready to roll now? You ready? You ready to go now?
Yeah, I think so, man. I don't know what happened to my laptop. It just froze up on me.
All right, yeah, don't you worry about it, man. So for yourself, know what? Before I even get to you, one of the coolest things that I believe to be true is this: spreading the word of what we do. Spreading the word. Brother Dennis referred Brother Larry to come become an insurance adjuster. Now, did he disappear on me again? Oh, there. Oh, he just moved the screen. Okay, I thought he went away. You still there? So yeah. Now, Dennis and Larry worked together. Now, I'll let Larry share that story if he wants to share it, but I think it's a big deal. So as far as for licensing, how long was your process and what step did you have to take in particular? Because each state is different because you're in Oklahoma. We're actually probably working with Texas. I'm not sure which state you actually got your license in.
I got my license in Texas, but I am in Oklahoma. But it took me about, I think I took the test in October, and I recently got my license 3/7 of 2024. So about 3-4 months.
What was that process for you? I know you had to do a few different things to make sure everything was right.
Man, it was a long, stressful process, but I think it was major. I have a background of my own, so and it was a little extensive. So I had to write a recommendation letter. I had to go and get my court records and things like that, and send everything back to the Texas Department of Insurance. And they went through a little process of making sure that I was all the way clear to go. That process actually was the longest part of everything. I took my class, passed my class, got right on it, and start, getting everything processed. And then that's when I got the email saying that they needed a little bit more information. So yeah, that's how my situation went. Did I get down? Yes, I did. I actually felt like your homeboy, you know what I'm saying? Good. This group helped me to keep confidence within myself, just to be honest, because I just had a feeling like, man, they tripping. I even felt like I didn't give them all the information at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? And I had heard that if you didn't give them everything, they would deny you for that. So I had talked to a couple of people around that I already had knew that's adjusters, and they was actually giving me a negativity toward it, not knowing I was already pretty much scared that I wasn't gonna get them anyway. But God is good, He came through, and I'm here, and I got him.
Yeah, shout out to Dennis and Toby for keeping you going, man. Shout out to them for that.
Yeah, shout out to them
yeah.
too. I mean, I could tell you about them too if I need to. Them some good people. Dennis and I used to cut Dennis' hair. I'm also a barber. I used to cut Dennis' hair, and he used to come to our barber shop all the time. So we built a real nice friendship then, and it grew from there. Then a close friend of his and I, which is a mutual friend, my cousin, introduced him. Well, he introduced him to my cousin, which is Adrian Peterson, and it just got even better from there. So I ran into Dennis at ABC Supply Store. He asked me, and what was I doing at that point in time? I was just becoming a construction salesperson in the field of roofing and construction, and he was actually going in to get him some Kruger paws. And I said, I mean, what? You know what I'm saying? You what is you doing at ABC? I just didn't I had no understanding. I know he's a weight guy, he's a trainer, so what is you doing out here? You know what I'm saying? And so he just said, hey, he said, me and my old lady, we got some things going on, and now that I see you here, I'm gonna be in touch with you. And pretty much that was like our conversation. It was short, snappy, because I think he was probably on the move. So it was short and snappy, and we kept it moving. You know what I'm saying? And I ran into him about 2 years later. Actually, he came to do my adjusters meeting. And when he pulled up, I let the window down and I looked and I said, who, really? And the crazy part about that day is I'm a firm believer in God. So I was listening to a Creflo Dollar sermon on my way to that adjusters meeting. And Creflo said in that sermon that day, he said, I want you to claim it, that something good is going to happen to you. And he said, and when you claim it, he said, automatically receive it and go throughout your day. Don't say nothing else about it. Receive it and go throughout your day. And when Dennis pulled up, we got out the car, we started talking and everything. And he said, I see you still at it. I said, yeah, I see you still at it. And conversation went from there. You know, we got on the roof. He pretty much threw chalk at me and said, hey, man, let me see what you know. And I could walk the roof. He said, well, I see you get around on these things pretty good. I marked my little spots up for the hail damage. He said, I guess you got a good eye. He said, when we got out the roof, he started explaining some things to me. We got all the way down. He said, all right, it's time for you to move on to the next level. And I'll be getting with you later on this week. And I got a text message to be on this call, and I've been here ever since.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate that, man. That's awesome, man. Brother Demetrio. Hey, question for you too, brother. Okay, so you've been doing this for a little while. Now, there's some highs and some lows for you throughout this process. And I'm noticing something different now. The lows that you had last time, you got let go from the assignment because the assignment was kind of over for you. They let you go. What changed for you? Well, I noticed that you began studying a certain book. What changed for you in that process, brother? And what book are you studying?
Well, it doesn't do any good with the book. Well, I'm just, I got my exactament stuff. I'm just trying to get proficient in that, and so I can get my certifications in that. It's just about, I need to utilize this time, that I have off to, make myself better, so I can get a better field. And, once you get to exactament, once you get that third level, a lot of doors open for you outside of adjusting. So there's some things that you can do in the meantime that, makes this time really, really productive. Just the first time, of course you don't want to get released or whatever like that. So, you be upset or
Let's
whatever.
get back. No, let's talk about it, man. What was that feeling you had when they said, hey, man, this assignment's over? Even though you've been there for a while, what was that actual feeling that you had, man?
Well, I felt that I could have been there. Like, I wanted to be the last person there. The very last one. Be like, all right, Demetrio, that's it. So I don't care, if it was 5, 6, 7 other people there. And that's just what I want for myself. So I felt like, I was disappointed, and I knew my shortcomings and things that I could have did better. And, of course, right when I got, released, I was turning that corner in my mind, that I was, just not getting things down. It's just not clicking. I'm just not starting to do things that I wanted as far as time management, things of that nature. So it was just not coming in a nice, good rhythm. And then boom, your numbers, one of the lower out of the 8, 7, 10 people that are there, which is what they just start going by production numbers at such, a certain point. But this time, I knew that, I just need to keep pushing and bettering myself and trying to get better in what I need to do as far as, my shortcomings. Exactly. I need to get proficient. I wanted to get my certifications in that, I got my rope and harness, and got certified in that. Just doing stuff that looks better on the resume when you put it out there, that looks better, that makes you more attractive, when you get out there, just little things like that. And I had that knowledge too. To be proficient in exactament, level 2, level 3 search, man, you're knocking out claims at that point. You sketching, you going big things. You can go to California and do fires where the whole house is burnt down, where you got to sketch it all, on exactament. You know how to do it. When you have that on there and you have that experience and say that you can do that, you stick out from the rest. When you're sticking out from the rest, you stay employed longer. You do better. So that's all I'm trying to make myself right now. And I just wanted to focus on right now.
Okay, good deal, man. Brother Major,
Yes, sir.
you are into the financial portion of investing. What has this opportunity allowed for you to do as far as from the income that you received? Now, and before we get to that point, before we get to that, answer that question, you did adjusting for a little while, then you went away, right? What brought you back to adjusting?
I guess what brought me back to am I echoing? Hello?
Are you good?
All right, yeah. So what brought me back to adjusting was really the bear market and kind of just like the slow period of the market when not much volatility is happening and not too many things are going on, and that's what I was doing during my time, like once I stepped away from adjusting. So then yeah, then that's when I came back. Actually, that was when I went to Tennessee for the freeze. So that's why I came back to adjusting.
Okay. And since you came back to adjusting, how many individuals have you used the opportunity to since you came back?
Could you repeat that?
Since you came back to adjusting, how many people have you introduced the opportunity to,
Oh, I mean,
from what you can remember?
a good amount of people, I'd say, like probably anywhere between like 50 to 60, 50 to 80, so something like that. Like I always mention it to to many of my close friends and many people in the community as well. Like Kayvon, Sterling, because I know what it's it's done for me, and like I also seen what it's done for people as well. So.
Good deal. That's the big thing. I say that because from what I'm noticing is that you came back to, but however, it wasn't about you. It was about other individuals as well. So this community, for me, I want to make sure that we keep building and growing this community. The one thing that I want to do is make sure that we get this thing up to 50 to 60 people, 70 people, 100 people joining every week, only because the opportunity is so grand for individuals to be able to make an absolutely amazing income, but more importantly, be able to serve individuals and help people to get past whatever they may be going through, but also to redeem themselves when it comes from a financial perspective, right? Miss K Joy. Now, as a manager, right, when individuals refer people to you, as far as work wise, what do you look for? Because obviously you can't take everybody. You can, however, you won't take everybody. What are you looking for whenever someone refers someone to you?
Sure. So looking for, normal claim competencies, right? So time management, desk management, looking for someone who is coachable. Anybody that's not coachable, probably not the best place in the middle of us ramping up for storm. In addition to that, definitely looking for someone who's self-aware. That's hard to get on the front end or always get acknowledged before you bring them in the door. But a lot of times, to be honest, I also look at who's referring them. I needed to be a performer. If you're going to refer somebody to me,
I just wanted to hear
I
you
was
say
just
that.
on it. Yeah, well, I'm just going to be real with you guys. A few weeks back, as we were ramping up for a client, a new client asked, we had some calls between, there was probably 3, 4 of us as directors sitting on a call with our VP as we were talking through, one of the directors on their hiring who's not as familiar with some of the people that were referred. And then we had some new other people referring folks, and there was a lot of conversation around that, right? Like, well, the person that's referring them, how is their work? What's their performance like? How do they tolerate change? And so those things definitely come into play when you're thinking about that. Of course, you want somebody's resume to speak for themselves. And a lot of times we don't put them off for that, but it may make a determination a lot of times if they're already on the roster, if they've done work for us. And then if they are somebody new to us, okay, well, if we take time when we talk with them, does their resume, a lot of times we get resumes. I'm sorry, I had to laugh for a second. Sometimes I've seen some stuff on resumes that I was like, they definitely didn't look at this before they hit send. And I get it. A lot of times in the IA world, everybody's really busy, so they're just shooting stuff out. But take a quick minute, look over your resume, make sure that it looks right, make sure you don't have like random things capitalized. Those are top things. So if you're not already on our roster or a known quantity to us, those are things a lot of times that even when I've had a referral from somebody that I trusted,
And if I didn't take time to review it, right, so I'm telling myself, I may not have taken time to review it, and I'm like, hey, this team lead sent this over to me. I'm going to shoot it to you as my VP. I trust them, and a few times she's opened some of those and been like, did you look at this? Oh no, I just shot it over because I trusted them, and the resume is, all out of sorts. And it can happen to anyone as a mistake, but we see it so much that sometimes I realize with some independents, when I call them about it, it's just like, oh man, you know what? I haven't really looked at my resume in a while. And it's like, a lot of good ideas. You're shooting things out to rosters. So that's definitely a big thing. Double check your resume. 1, make sure it's updated. 2, make sure it makes sense to what you've actually done. I'm not a big person that a lot of people like to group resumes together as far as like, oh, I did auto and property over the course of 5 years. Well, that doesn't tell me anything. Who did you work for exactly? What did you do? Did you have an inventory? Be specific. But outside of that, the things I just mentioned, definitely looking for estimating skills. And if you don't have them, what have you done to build yourself during that time? You clearly can't put that on a resume, but if you have somebody referring you, you may want to have that conversation, right? I want to be able to say, okay, well, Meech referred them to me. Meech, okay, so they may not have as many years in estimating as you do. What have they done to build a skill? And then, of course, we're going to take time to talk to them, but those are the kind of things that we're going to be looking for sure, depending on what the deployment calls for or the assignment.
All right, good deal. I have a few more questions, but I want to make sure I open it up for anyone who has questions for Larry, K. Joy, Demetrio, or Major before I continue. Questions? Anyone got questions for them?
I have a quick question. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
This is for K. Joy. You mentioned on the resume, okay, you said, well, we need to know like you want to know like how many claims like someone has handled. Like, would you want them to put like I've handled 500 plus claims, or like what kind of like of those bullet points would you say is good to put on there?
So you can definitely generalize. I mean, what I'm normally looking for is like, have you handled your own inventory, or is it a team atmosphere? I don't necessarily have to know how many claims you've handled, because a lot of times that's out of people's control, right? As far as how many claims you've handled. And some people that are in the field, it's definitely going to be different than at the desk. But as when I talk about specifics, that's what I'm looking for. Did you have your own inventory? Was it a team environment? What kind of things did you handle? If you handled property, sometimes I talk to people, they've handled property, but all they've handled is contents. Well, that should be on the resume, right? Like, I handled exact contents only, but I don't know exact. You can't write on there, you don't know exactly, but you get what I'm saying. So definitely you could put on there, that I'm exact certified 1, certified, right? What kind of systems do you know, or talking to those kind of things. So when we talk about bullet points being specific, you just want to think about making sure the picture is told, or the story, if you want to think about it like that, in those bullet points. And don't be scared to take it from somebody else's if they've got a good one. Not trying to get y'all to take each other's work, but if you see somebody that has a good one and it's like, this demonstrates what I've done, that's all right. Like this AI and chat GPT stuff, that's what it's out there for now. I'm not trying to tell you to cheat it. I'm just saying sometimes people aren't. I say that because some people will sit on here and say like, oh, I'm not figuring out how to word that, right? Don't let that be a weakness, is all I'm saying. Find somebody else that's done great, or talk to us here and have somebody else look at it, or read it and give some feedback. Hit me up even if you want. I
was just about to ask, maybe I could send it to you and you can be like, don't put this, or this is good.
Yeah, I'm glad to. Yeah, let me know, Janae. Sorry. Sometimes in my head,
no, it's all good.
So just yeah, no worries. Hit me up.
Okay, real quick. So after someone's licensed, as far as if they have a background issue, something happened from their past, does that come up again for you, or is that over?
Did you say me? You said me, right?
Yes. Yeah.
For me,
Do you see that?
Me, I don't even see it. So honestly, when they get licensed, they go through we have a licensing department with the vendor that I'm with, the client that I work, the TPA that I work for. We have our own licensing department. So they're only going to bring it to me if there's something like whatever Major said, and then they reach out to him twice and he's not responding to get stuff done. Then they're going to reach out to his first line leader. His first line leader doesn't handle it. A few weeks after that, they're going to add me because I have team leads under me, right? So normally all I'm trying to do is make sure it's getting done. Like, hey, Major, can you get that done by the time frame? If not, can you give me a heads up? Other than that, I'm done with it. I'm not asking any other questions because it's really not specific.
Okay.
It's not.
So you won't see that after you're licensed. You're licensed, and once you go,
okay. And honestly, if they handle it with licensing on the front end, like I said, licensing normally doesn't even include their first line leaders unless they don't respond in a timely manner. And then I'm not involved until it's at a point where they're like, hey, we're about done trying to reach out about this situation. So
Okay. So yeah, bottom line is if you do have issues, make sure that we keep documentations on deck at all points in time because they're going to ask for it. Because they do a background, each company does their own background check every year. It's just what it is. They're just going to do it. So make sure that it's not an end all be all once you get your license. So make sure that we understand that and know that. All right. Other questions before I ask more questions?
well, if I can add to that real quick, Trav, even with that, if you don't have all the documentation together, but you're working on it, just be responsive. I know for our licensing team, as long as they know, like I said, if I'm joking about Major, but if Major was to respond and say, hey, I'm working on it, I've reached out to so-and-so and I'm waiting to get that back. They said it'll be 3 weeks. They'll be like, oh, okay. They're not going to take it to the next level. It's just complete non-responsive that gets it escalated typically on our end anyway.
Okay, good deal. Other questions?
Okay, so K-Joy, so you mentioned about your referrals, and when you accept your referrals, you say you also look at the chain that I guess it would be the referral chain, meaning the person that it came from. And what if you didn't personally know the person that it came from? How would you review the resume?
So that happens a lot, honestly. I get a lot of people that reach out to me that say they don't tell me how they know me, right? They're just like, hey, somebody told me to send you this. So I look at it the same way. I mean, I don't try to give extra weight necessarily because the IA world is so big, right? And to be honest with you, there's a lot of people that put stuff on a resume that don't always meet the need when they get on the floor or in the field. But so for me, I give equal weight, I mean, because I'm also going to take time. Although I'm at a director level, a lot of times when we're ramping up, it's all hands on deck for interviewing. Like our recruiting team is going to interview to a certain point, and depending on the client, we may be thrown in those interviews for leadership, for for different things like that. So I'm still going to review it the same way. I don't really try to give extra weight necessarily. It's been very rare that we've been like, oh no, we'll pull that person based on that referral, down to a last minute need. But typically, to be honest, I get hit up a lot from people. I have no idea how they got my information, my work cell phone and my desk phone. And it's like, hey, so somebody told me to call you. I'm like, okay, great. And I return all those calls myself. Some of them I do shoot over to recruiting first. But when I look at the resume, I'm looking for the same thing, typically. And if they tell me who referred them, great. If they didn't, sometimes people name people I don't even know. So I don't know how they got my name anyway. So sometimes the referral doesn't even matter because I don't know who they were talking about.
Okay, that's cool. And one more quick question for Meech.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to know, now you had level 1 and level 2 of Xactimate, and you're now on level 3, is that?
No, sir. I'm actually working on it. I just got the book this week actually. So that's my goal here shortly though. I will be taking those to get level 1 and 2 certified as quickly as possible. I heard level 3 is a little bit, more intense. But I will work toward that as well. But no, I haven't gotten the certifications yet. I just got the material. I have been studying the material so I can take the test.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. But how is that studying coming?
It's coming along good, man. Learning some little stuff, especially with the sketching and everything. And it's been good, man. I'm enjoying it. It's good learning. So I can't wait to, put that on my resume and to be able to go out there and flex my muscles on the Xactimate level, and show out,
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, good. The other questions? Questions, comments? Active bunch, huh? I like it for sure. All right, good deal. Brother Larry, question for you, my man. Can you come back? You there? You good? Okay, just kidding.
There you go.
There it is, man. So you've been around for a while, for a few months now. Things haven't happened as fast as you would have liked for them to happen for you. What's giving you peace to know that you're going to be all good? That's going to be all right. That you're going to do very well at this. What's giving you that, man? It's going to be all right, man. Because that right there, that it's going to be okay. Actually, mean that in your spirit is a big, big deal for myself, for anybody. When you get that, it's going to be okay feeling. When everything else around you doesn't speak to it. What speaks to you for that?
360 Academy.
I paid him to say that, guys. See that right there? Your check's in the mail, baby. Yeah.
Nah, for real though, 360 Academy. I mean, like I told you, in my, my questions that you sent me, I'm not there yet, but listening to y'all and, being around genuine love and being around genuine people who actually care, how can you not know you're gonna get it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like I told Trav, sometimes God puts angels in your face. And sometimes God gives you a mysterious angel. And these are the angels that's in your face. So for the people that's here that's new, I'm here to tell you that these are angels. And if they're reaching out, if an angel is reaching out and you don't reach out to that angel, then you don't want what that angel got for you. So if it hadn't have been for 360, you know what I'm saying, Dennis and Toby, I mean, you yourself, I mean, everybody in here, you know what I'm saying, that I see here on the regular, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just put a smile on my face. I look forward to this on Sundays. I look forward to this on Sundays, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all keep me motivated, even at my job, when I'm going through what I'm going through now, I said, man, you know what? I know this won't be much longer. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's a better tomorrow, gonna be a better future. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, at the end of the day, I appreciate y'all. I mean, I really do. And thank you all for the opportunity to even be in y'all group. And yeah, so yeah, 360 is why I do what I do.
Man, okay.
We appreciate that, Larry. Thank you.
The love is great, man. That right there is a big deal because that's why we're here, man. That's the biggest deal, to make sure that individuals have the opportunity to know the people that we actually care. And we're never going to charge you to be here. Come on Sundays.
At least
on Sundays, we'll never charge you to come here on Sundays. Never. Not one. Nope. We won't do that. I look forward to everyone getting out there and getting after it. Watching.
I can't wait to watch it unfold. Oh
watch
my
do
God.
his thing, man. Watch
being
Larry
so
do his thing,
patient.
man. Dylan getting it. Tyree. Everybody getting it, boy. What'd you say?
Again?
I said, like I was telling you before too, I actually had took an adjusters class before. I took it by myself, and I actually flunked the class. I had a wreck, and I wasn't able to take my third test. I made a 69 on it the first time and a 68 the second time. And that was about 3.5 years back, but I had a car wreck.
Tough.
And which is the reason why I got into this type of business, because like I said, at the first beginning, I'm a barber. I was a barber. I've been a barber since 2005. So
you fade me up?
Yeah, I got you. I put a design in there too, baby.
If I had hair, boy, you can tell me nothing, boy. If I had hair, boy.
But yeah, so and I flunked the test, and then I was, after answering them questions and talking with you, Trav, I was like, if I would have had this class then, I mean, if I would have had this community to fall back on then, should I already be where y'all at? You know what I'm saying? But I also said everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? No mistakes, and God is always on time. You know what I'm saying? And to get the information that you all give for free, because trust me, I went to YouTube, I went to Siri, I was Google, I asked everybody for help. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? So to get what we get out of this group and this family of love right here, man, and it's free. I mean, like I said, the angels are sent before you, man. And if you ain't trying to grasp all of these angels, to become a part of one of these angels, to be able to do what they're doing to other people for other people, then, this ain't the group for you.
I appreciate that.
Hey, Josh
Seriously.
Jones, the Hawaiian Silky gonna be coming.
That.
Hawaiian Silky, boy. Oh, boy.
No, thank you. Because that's the reason why I keep showing up. That's exactly why I keep showing up, in hopes that a few months down the line, somebody's like, wow, thank you so much for all the help you've done. That's what makes it worthwhile.
blow up. Man, I'm ready to see the people that are here.
I can't wait.
Blow
Oh
up.
my God.
I'm ready to blow up to be an example. Be like, y'all, look what if I can do it, anybody can do it. You know, like, you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
a fact. This
I want to be
community,
that.
this community motivates me too.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get another opportunity.
It's a community of hope, you know, just to know that like I'm not the only one in this boat. Like I'm waiting as well, just like everyone else is. So yeah, definitely a blessing.
And anxious to pay. Look, when I get this Exactament 1 and this Exactament 2 certification, I'm gonna be a wealth of knowledge. I'm gonna be ready. Y'all can ask me for anything. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna work on that Exactament. When I get that 3, I'm gonna be ready to hand my book over to somebody. Be like, yo, who need a book? We got the workbook here. So I mean, it's about getting the knowledge and utilizing it, but spreading it into 2. You know what I mean? I want to spread it to everybody. I want to be that a good resource for that. I'm going to be that.
Same.
I like it, man. I'm looking at the time. I don't want to hold you guys too much longer. So I'm going, we've got, the questions.
Yeah, good.
Tyree, what's up, man? Tyree, where you at? Tyree, where you at, man? Where you at?
Hey, man, don't encourage him.
No. I didn't want to be. I didn't want to be a nuisance this Sunday. I didn't want to be a bother. Sometimes I get to
Oh,
the
you're
top and
not
I'm
a
like,
bother, Tyree. Come on, that's
I
what
mean,
we do.
I just try to, I try to not be too much sometimes. So I was like, all right, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna just like sit back,
Yeah, don't think about that too much, man. We need you. We need you. Don't think about it too much, Tyree.
But I do want to say, like, I do want to just thank Travis and Demetrio. You guys, me and you guys, just say I'm not gonna say too much about it, but I'll let everybody know it started off a little rocky on my end. But I appreciate them too, because I've grown a lot in myself and realized that I gotta sometimes you can't kind of control how someone reacts. So I had to think to myself, and I'm glad I did, because I had to, I'm always humble and I always admit when I'm wrong, and I let them know, and I'm glad that they gave me a shot to be part of the group, and I think, and I'm so happy to see people that look like myself doing it, because I've, as we just said before, like I get in my own head a lot, and I've been thinking like, I'm not like I won't be able to hit the numbers you guys do, hit the the productivity that you guys do, and I'm trying to get myself out of that by seeing everyone in this group and just just doing it, making it happen. And I'm like, yo, if they could do it, why can't I do it? And I'll just constantly keep putting myself in that mindset. So
yeah,
I just want to thank you guys so much. You guys mean a lot, man. You guys doing a lot of good things for the community and for people out there. So I try to, whenever I meet someone that's a just or a potential, they could like, hey, like jump on this group, because it's free. You'll get a lot out of it, and they've been through what you're going through. So I try to definitely shout you guys out to everybody.
Already.
We appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're ready for dance moves?
We're gonna come back. We're gonna put a pin in that story of introduction story. That's a good one. It was a good one. You know what I mean?
We'll say that for next week.
In San Antonio. We met him out in San Antonio. As we are trying to better ourselves and get acquainted with the people, getting them CE hours. We got like 24 CE hours for them couple of days out there. But it was a good moment. But yeah, man, it was funny. It was an interesting. It was an adjuster meeting, but it was a more of a human interaction. It just it's growing that way. But that's what it is. I was glad to be a part of it. I'm glad T's here. I'm glad he's active, and I know he's gonna be great adjuster. He's gonna be knocking numbers out. He's gonna be right up there with Trav here. You know what I mean? So, but that was.
And I got to beat him. Then I got to beat him.
Yeah, I know.
And I gotta beat you.
I know it's competition. Larry, where you at?
We're gonna make each other better.
Cliff's gonna come in strong.
Yeah, it's gonna be all, baby. It's gonna be all.
It's gonna be 100K months, 80,000 months, 60,000 months.
And tell us he put his notice in. I'm ready for Larry to like, yo, I quit my job, yo. I'm gonna celebrate. I might mess around and go to Oklahoma. come down there. You
Come
know,
on,
it's
baby.
So we
like,
would.
yeah, I can't wait, man. I'm looking forward to that day.
No,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Janae's mom gonna be here talking noise. I know it's gonna be happening. Miss BJ will come in here.
Clifton.
Already
Yeah, right
know.
there.
Only two.
What's up,
How y'all
man?
doing? Just say hey.
Hey, BJ.
Hey, BJ.
Hey,
How you
BJ.
doing, BJ?
Nice
Yes,
seeing
sir.
you here.
All right. So
All
with
right,
that,
y'all.
all of that being said, we'll go ahead and wrap everything up with our Sunday gathering. We had some great information be shared. But like everyone mentioned, me personally, I'm looking forward to the future testimonies as well. I know that they're coming.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
claiming it. We manifesting it. So just keep the faith. Steadfast. Remain
Stay
steadfast.
patient.
Stay patient. It's coming.
Mhm.
Like I said, by
Right,
next Sunday,
right.
I'm believing that we will either be somewhere we're working or we will know where we're going. I'm claiming that, speaking that. But
Claim that for us, please.
yes. So but for everyone in here, please remember to fill out our feedback form if you haven't. With us getting those calls this week and us, being on our deployments next Sunday. I'm challenging y'all to that 100K club challenge. Let's push ourselves. Let's maximize, our full potential. That's what I ask God for every day. Just please let me understand my purpose in life and let me live up to my full potential. So let's do that. Let's make that 100K in a month. And I would like to welcome everyone in here for next Sunday. Please come to our Laboratory of Redemption for week 38. We will have 360's own financial guru, Coach Ryan Walker. He will be dropping some gems for us. So trust me, you don't want to miss next week. We have the financial tips, those short segments, but he's our guest speaker next week. So I'm sure that we're gonna get some great information. So please join us next week.
Get
But
your
with that being
questions
said,
ready. Get your questions.
Find that
Yes,
notepad
sir.
so I can take notes on old Ryan.
Yes, sir.
oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Look at him. Look at him smile. Look at him, boy. Big old Kool-Aid smile.
Yeah.
I'm about
I'm
to
sure what he
cook some
tells
dinner.
us will
So
help us for these slow seasons, like right now. So next slow season, we'll have some money flipping, some invested somewhere. Our taxes will be right, so make sure you don't miss.
hey man, look, just to tell y'all, taxes is everything. It is tax season, towards the end of tax season. Get your taxes in order because it's gonna let you springboard from 360. The only way you're gonna be able to springboard to find your vision within the vision is to have your taxes together, guys. And in this community, you have not just myself, but I think there's somebody else. If you just have questions to figure out your strategy, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We got your back.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Looking forward to next Sunday. But
Hey,
everyone,
my paperwork is submitted to Coach. My paperwork submitted. I already submitted mine to him. Y'all utilize it too. You shoot your stuff over. He get to take care of.
Yeah, we're just hanging out at this point.
All right, y'all.
I do have a question.
I got a whole nother.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Hey, I'll be here for a little bit. Y'all want to hang out for a little bit?
Happy Sunday,
Yeah,
y'all.
Travis, I wanted to ask you a question.
Yeah, I'm here with you.
Yeah, since for QA, they hire for do they send you out as a W-2 or as a 1099?
It depends upon the client. State Farm is a W-2, but it could be a different client. They'll go 1099. So it just depends upon who you work with as far as hey Sydney, we just sitting there staring at the screen. But yeah, it also depends upon the
Okay, cool.
My question for you, Sydney.
Yes.
All right, so my strategy for my finances, what should I do? Because I'm looking to grow my portfolio